Hello, welcome. My name is Nikki, and this is a series where we're going to redesign and rebuild my website. In this series, we're going to look at a web design process from evaluation, some research, wireframing, designing, and building the website using Figma and Webflow. If you follow me on Instagram, then you might have noticed I expanded my brand color scheme. So let's just have a look at in Canva. You can see that this was my previous brand palette. So what I've done, I kept the main colors. So I still want to go with the purple theme, but I wanted to expand on this color and I wanted to add other bright, friendly colors to it. But I also wanted to have kind of like a muted or dimmed version of those colors. So I came up with these colors on the top. I really love this one. I came up with these pastel colors as well. They kind of bring some femininity to my brand, which I really like. I also added a few green colors because I thought my previous green was too bright and too intense. So I have these 3 new green colors, another pastel color, and just a variation of grays. I also introduced a muted purple. So you will see all of these colors throughout my Instagram and on my website. At the moment, I'm still keeping my brand font, which is Collective, but what's interesting about this is I haven't uploaded Collective to Webflow as a custom font yet. I might need to rethink if this is the font that I would like to keep using. What's really good about Canva, I actually do have a pro account, but I used a free version for many years. But what's really good about the pro account that you can have this brand kit. You can just reuse all of the brand colors and your logo, and you can add brand fonts as well. And as a next step, we're just going to look at my website. So this is my website. I actually built this in early June in about a week. I made everything from scratch. Yeah, this is what it looks like. I still love the color, but it just kind of, when you scroll through, it works, but it doesn't really have this wow factor. So I thought maybe I can just spend a little bit of time and just redo this. So a few things I like. As I said, I don't use Collective as a font on my website, so my 2 fonts, as I stated in my footer, is Georgia and Lato, or Lato, I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm just gonna say Lato. And I use Lato in my header, in my menu. I actually really like it when I use block letters. Georgia is probably my all-time favorite font. It's just so elegant and beautiful. It's just so pretty. But when I use the italic version of Georgia, it is still appealing to me. But when I use it like this, no italics, then it just doesn't work. I just don't like it anymore. And with Lato, it's really nice when it's a block letter, when I use capital letters here. So it's nice here and it's nice in a subtitle. But here, when it's a block of text, I'm just not happy with that. I don't think it just flows that well. Maybe I need to give it a little bit of more line height. Maybe that would work. I can try that as an in-between solution. So the other thing that I'm not happy with is this footer. At the very beginning, I love the color, this light purple color, but now I'm just looking at it, it's just too purple. I think that this is my problem. It's just too purple now, too much purple. So let's just have a look at some pages here. Now you can see what if I have a block of text and I use Lato on it. For the page title, Georgia would still work, but then this is a block of text. I introduced larger line height here. It's just kind of boring, I used to have a banner here with some illustration and my picture, but I had to remove it because I changed my hairstyle. I really would like to add something here. Design 101, which is one of the most visited pages. And now you can see that this is such a bare minimum that I did here. So these are tabs. I'm not sure if it's visible. Keep adding content to these tabs. Oh, I just noticed I never even added the footer here. Okay, so that's that resources page. So this is 5th of September when I'm recording this video. So yeah, check back. So I need to build something here by mid-September because that's what I promised. Okay, the shop section. Nothing's here. I'm planning to reopen my Etsy store, but I have so many other things to do, so we'll see how I go. So the next one is my sketch note section. You might follow me on my other YouTube channel where I draw. I only draw, I don't really talk there. Maybe I should. It's just a sneak peek of, you know, what I post about. This page definitely needs a little bit of love. Yeah, maybe like a video and some description on the side, and maybe just alternate the text and the video and text. But again, you know what I really don't like is this text. Like, just Lato just doesn't work like this. And then I have a call to action button, but not many people visits that, so it's probably not that visible. Maybe I should pull this one to the top, like, hey, visit my YouTube channel. So, and the other one is my writing section. You might have seen a few of my writings on Medium. I have a very, very popular one, which is the Whiteboard Design Challenge. If you haven't checked that one out, it's probably the most useful writing that I have ever done. So check this one out. I guarantee you will learn from it. You will know how to solve a whiteboard design challenge during your next interview. I kinda actually like what this one looks like, but probably this page could use a little bit of visuals, because on Medium and on LinkedIn I usually add hero image to all of my articles, so maybe during the redesign I could do something like that. Yeah, we'll see. So the other thing that I want to do during this redesign process, I really would like my newsletter section to be more prominent. I'm not sure where I should put it. Maybe I'm just gonna do a form here or a banner. I'm definitely not going to use pop-ups because I hate pop-ups. I even have a pop-up blocker in my other Chrome browser, and I just don't want to put that on my website because it is so annoying to me, and I don't want to annoy the people who visit my website. Maybe it's not annoying to you, but do let me know in the comment section below if it's annoying to you. I don't like pop-ups. I do mentor people. I should probably rename it to coaching instead, because I do other coaching sessions as well, like on career advice and portfolio reviews and just design chat. So it's more of like a coaching instead of mentoring. So I'm probably going to rename this. At the moment, I don't have free time slots, but maybe in December I can reopen my SuperPeer again. I'm not sure if you noticed that, see how I have a really beautiful sticky header, which took me about an hour to develop in Webflow, or to figure out how to do that, because I actually didn't use any template. I built this from the scratch. But what happens with my logo is when I go to another page, see? The logo disappears. I don't know why it disappears. I'm not even sure if this is a Webflow feature or is it a bug. So what was my workaround is I added a home button into the header. It's actually good practice to have a home button in your header. I would highly recommend that, but I still want my logo to appear here. One more thing that I want to show you. So what we're going to look at is my analytics. Just over 200 people visited my website, which is fine. You know, I'm not advertising it. It's a fair amount of people until today. So this is today. And let's just have a look at the demographics overview. I was thinking about implementing Hotjar for analytics. Yeah, we'll see. I might do that. I always find this interesting, like how many people or where people are coming from and who visits my website. Most of the users are coming from the States, and I live in New Zealand, so a lot of people click on that. But let's just have a look at the countries. I am really interested. 35. I found this fascinating that people coming to my website, like even from Antarctica, look at that. My visitors are in 35 different countries. Yeah, I really would like to dive into pages. What's interesting is I don't know what's happening in Santa Clara, but look at all of these users. Okay, so we're going to look at pages and screens. I find this one really interesting. This is essentially my homepage. So obviously people land on the homepage. A lot of people look at the Design 101 page, my About page. That's usually very popular on every website. Become a UX UI product designer is the most popular page in the writing section, but you should definitely check out the Whiteboard Challenge. That's the best article that I ever written. Oh, I used to have actually a project section, but there was nothing there. I removed it because I realized I will never have the time to build up my portfolio in a way that is suitable for my website. So I do have a portfolio, but I host it on my Google Drive. So whenever I apply for a job, I just send a link to the folder, which consists of like 10 case studies. People just look at the shop, which is really interesting, which makes me think that I should probably remove that section as well, because there is nothing there. What it also says to me, people would be interested in checking out what I am selling. This is something to explore, I would say. So let's just have a look what else is here. So what we can see here is basically the Hungarian translation of my pages. This is the About page, and this is the Design 101. This is my home page, and this is the article. Shop again, and this is the wireframe section. I'm not sure why it ends up here. This is something that I need to figure out. I actually never seen that it was translated in Google Analytics. So okay, one more thing that we can look at is my Webflow project. This is Webflow. If you're not familiar with Webflow, then this is the designer section. So they call it designer, like Webflow designer. So maybe as a first iteration, I would just change my colors here. It's really cool because you can have all of these versions. Oh, one thing that I have forgotten to show you in Google Analytics is the technology area. It's always good to look at. So why I wanted to show you this, basically the device category here. So how many people are coming from a desktop and how many people are visiting my site from a mobile and tablet. What it tells me that I really need to make sure my website works really, really well on desktop. And of course, like mobile, it's a quarter of my visitors. So definitely I would like to make my website mobile friendly. Tablet, like not even 1%. You know, I can tweak it, but it's not a high priority for me. So if we go back to Webflow, you can see that how we have 4 little tabs here. So this is our mobile version. And I did spend a fair amount of time on customizing the layout on mobile. So that was definitely worth it. So that was our first session of the overview of the project. In the next episode, we're going to do a little bit of planning and probably some sketching as well. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up so that other people can see it on YouTube as well. And yeah, consider subscribing if you want to support my channel, and I see you next time. Bye.